Hello, very good day to you. Welcome to your latest Met Office weather update. There will be some haziness, some low cloud lingering across eastern parts as we go through today. That's due to an area of low pressure to the southeast of the UK, leading to a bit of an easterly wind, a chilly wind here. But for much of the country, we're actually under something called a coal in between various pressure systems. And so the flow across us is largely slack, and it is going to be therefore largely dry for much of us. But there is still some chilly air across us, which is why temperatures a little bit on the low side for the time of year for the time being. However, as we go through the next few days, we are going to see some weather systems pushing in from the west. So we will see some rain at times, could be a little bit heavy. We're also going to see a change in our wind direction. We're going to be dragging in our air from the southwest, and so temperatures are going to be rising for most of us. Towards the north of the country, particularly across Scotland, where we are likely to stay to the north of this waving front as we go through the middle of the week, we're likely to cling on to some chilly air. But for many, it is going to turn milder. However, back to the here and now, and a largely dry picture for many of us. Yes, some low clouds, some haziness, particularly towards the east, like I mentioned at the start, and a few spots of rain are possible here and there. Also a few showers towards parts of West Wales, southwest England, but also some bright or sunny spells likely towards western parts. Outbreaks of rain also perhaps across parts of Northern Ireland, then feeding into western parts of Scotland. But elsewhere, like I said, mostly dry for many of us. Quite cloudy, but a bit of sunshine perhaps towards the west. Temperatures around or a little bit below average for the time of year, feeling chilly towards North Sea coastal parts in particular, where we have a bit of an easterly wind and we're likely to cling on to some of that cloud. Could be some low cloud well through the afternoon. Later on, as we go through the evening, we are going to see more outbreaks of rain pushing across parts of northwest Scotland, but it's across Northern Ireland where we're going to see some heavy rain and strong winds feeding in, and that rain is then going to push its way into western parts of Scotland, England and Wales as we go through the early hours of Tuesday morning. Towards the east of this, largely staying dry, and we could also see some clear spells developing, under which temperatures could take a bit of a dip. So most places are likely to stay a few degrees above freezing, but under any clear skies towards the east, we could see a touch of frost, perhaps even a few patches of fog first thing tomorrow morning. In the west, though, it's going to be a wet and a windy start. Heavy rain for many places. In fact, across western areas quite widely, 15 to 25 millimetres quite possible as we go through Tuesday, and over the hills and mountains of North Wales, we could see 30 to 40 millimetres. And rain really hasn't been in short supply recently, so that could cause some localised impacts. The rain does ease as it pushes its way eastwards, but most places likely to see some wet and blustery weather for a time, albeit it breaks up as we go through the day. So whilst there will be some further outbreaks of rain around, there will also be some drier and perhaps even some brighter or sunnier spells, perhaps most likely towards the southwest as we go through the afternoon. It is going to be a blustery day, particularly as that rain pushes through, and so whilst temperatures are lifting with that milder air being dragged in, highs of around 13 or 14 Celsius, it may not always feel that mild, albeit it should feel milder than today, where we have that chilly feel towards the northeast of the UK. As we go later on, more outbreaks of rain to come through Tuesday evening and overnight and through the rest of the week. The heaviest rain always likely to be towards the west and the northwest of the UK, and in fact across the northwest, that's where it's likely to be pretty windy. The risk of gales or even severe gales through this week at times too, particularly on Wednesday. Like I showed at the start, it is going to turn milder for many of us, albeit towards the north of the UK. We may cling on to that chillier air, so staying a bit colder here, but temperatures lifting. It may even feel rather warm at times. We'll have more information on what you can expect in our week ahead forecast, which will be available on our YouTube channel later on this afternoon. Otherwise, I'll see you again later. Bye-bye.